Hi everyone. I was just out of my house in my car. I ran up to the store here and it's Sunday, so I don't have to work. So I just thought, you know what, this is a good time to make a video. And one video that I said I was going to make that I haven't done yet is my endometrial ablation, just how it went and what it is, and my experience with it. So just, warning, obviously, if you don't want to hear about periods and medical procedures, I guess, just maybe don't watch this video, because that's exactly what it's about. So to start off, I think my period's always been not great, ever since I started it. It hasn't been it's always been a little heavy, but it's changed each time I've had a child or anything. It's just gotten I think it was heavy, and then it got lighter, and then it got heavier and lighter, and I've always just dealt with it. And it was to the point where at first it was just super tampons that I was using, and I would have to put a super tampon and a pad at night, and I would sleep the 6 or 7 hours and then change it. But so toward I couldn't tell you when it really started, but for a while now it's been awful. And I did not know that they had ultra tampons, which is there's light, regular, super plus, and ultra. Ultra's it holds a lot. So I found those recently, and it was quite life-changing, because for the last few, maybe 2 years, or maybe a little less, I don't know, I've been having periods that have been I've had to change a super plus tampon after an hour or two, for the first 2 days, and it's been awful. It makes you not how do you go to work and work a shift, have a good shift when you're constantly running to change your tampon? So I always had to wear a pad with it, and I've always had to double up, and it's just been a nightmare. And the cramping and stuff isn't even the issue, it's just flooding. It's just awful. And I just honestly, after everything, and knowing that I was done having kids, and I'm 39, I really want to take care of this. So I went and saw a new gynecologist who he said that the two, there was 3 options. He said you can do a IUD, the IUD, ablation, and or a hysterectomy. And I'm like, okay. So a hysterectomy, although they would leave the ovary that I have so that I wouldn't go through menopause, I feel like the hysterectomy was a little more extreme than I wanted to go, maybe. And I don't want an IUD because for a couple of reasons, but that just wasn't. So I decided to, and I went into that appointment without, I knew that I wanted the ablation. I had done my research. So I told him, I want the ablation. And he asked me about my symptoms and stuff. And he said he wanted to do an ablation, and he wanted to do a laparoscopy to check for endometriosis, which I never have had endometriosis in any other testing that I've had done. None of my my C-sections, none of my hysteroscopies, nothing has ever shown endometriosis. But I'm you know what? He'll probably find scar tissue, because I also had lots of adhesions when I had Piper, and they had to take care of as much as they could that day. So I thought, sure, we'll do the laparoscopy and the ablation, and also they do a D&C before they do the ablation. So first step was to get some blood work done, and I had to have an endometrial biopsy to make sure that I didn't have any thing going on in there. So because if that had come back different, they would do a hysterectomy instead of the ablation. So that actually really scared me more than anything, because you are awake for the biopsy, and they basically just take a little piece of your endometrium, which is inside your uterus, while you're awake. And if you ask on any online forums or look it up, people really talk about how bad it is, and it just scared the shit out of me. I didn't want to like, I was so nervous, but I said, yeah, I'll do it. Let's do it. I want this ablation. I can't do this anymore. So it wasn't long in between appointments at all. And I got the day, I think it was in October, I got the biopsy, and I was like nearly in tears, and it seriously was not much worse than a pap smear, for me. I know other people have different experiences. For me, they just like they put your feet in the stirrups, and you basically like, they put it up there and put a little betadine on your cervix and go through and get a biopsy. You know, it felt like a little bit of an electric, like a jolt in the uterus, and that was it. It didn't hurt, really, just uncomfortable, and I'm glad it's over. It's not something I would want to sign up for to do a bunch of times, but I left there and I was just relieved. It was not bad. So that came back normal. Nothing was wrong, so they decided to go ahead with the ablation, and I had that done on November 2nd. You know, with all the laws or the rules right now with everything going on, my husband had to wait he did get to come into the hospital. He waited in the waiting room, and I waited a long time in pre-op, which was just making me nervous. But I did like finally get back there, and they put me under, and it went so quick, and they did it, and everything went fine. And the doctor told my husband that they did find endometriosis, and that he thinks I have, I think it's adenomyosis. I don't know, however you want to say it. It's basically like endometriosis, kind of like it's inside your uterus, and that can cause heavy bleeding, but I've also heard people say that can cause no bleeding, so I don't know. But they found signs of that, and he said, because my uterus was like bulky, and he thinks he was pretty sure. Oh, and some polyps. They found some polyps in the uterus, and he said he was very hopeful that this would help my problem with my heavy periods. And so after the ablation was fine. No, it was just like it was a laparoscopy too, obviously, like I said, so they did poke holes. I took the week off of work, and I really didn't need to take the whole week off, but it was nice to have the week off and not have to worry about it. My boss is a surgeon, and he said, yeah, just take the whole week off. You're gonna be sore. So I did, and it was good. And like I did not know if I would get a period or not, because they will tell you ahead of time. Lots of women don't have periods after they have an ablation, and some people do, but it should make them better. So I did get my period about just a couple weeks after it, and I was kind of surprised, because I know like a DNC takes your lining, and the ablation itself burns your lining of your uterus. So I was surprised that I got it so soon, but I didn't get the cramps, and it was so light, like I only needed a pad. So since then, I actually have had my period every month, like clockwork, like I'm supposed to, but I have not needed a super tampon. I have used a couple of regular tampons and just pads, and it has been wonderful. I am not upset that I have the period. I'm just happy that it is going the way it is. And since they found endometriosis, he does want to see me back I'm going back in May, which would be 6 months, and he wants to like talk about how it is, and if it's not any better, then they were suggesting a hysterectomy. But my experience with the Minerva ablation has been good. Like I said, I see a lot of people, I joined forums on Facebook for like everything, and a lot of people will say like, I still have a period after the ablation. I thought I wasn't going to have one. They told me ahead of time, this is not a guarantee of not having it. This is going to make it better. And that's all I could ask for. And I am very happy with it. So I guess that's all I really have to say. I hope that wasn't too jumbled up and crazy. I just kind of wanted to throw that out there and talk about it. And I do plan to make other videos. I will make a video. I want to update Piper video. I want you guys to see her. So that will be my next video. And I will talk to you guys later.